Alright, like yesterday or maybe today, I don't know when this is gonna be uploaded, but like, I held a Q&A on my community post, and uh, I don't really know how to introduce it, so I'll just start answering the questions. Who do you want to win BFB and why? Um, Honestly, anyone but Leafy out of the final four, which are like Flower, Gelatin, Teardrop, and Leafy. Leafy is annoying and does not deserve to win or have gotten this far in this season at all. Flower's funny, Teardrop pulls her weight, and Gelatin is just like the most inoffensive character. Like, I don't hate him, but I don't really like him. Like, he's a good character, but like, I don't know. He could win. I don't care. I don't really care if any of them win, except for Leafy. What's your favorite show besides Yag? I don't really like Yag, first of all. But I'd have to say pre-split BFB, which would just essentially be like Teapot, but yeah. In what country do you live? I live in the United States of America. What is your favorite number? 13. If Yag were to get another season, who would you bring back and why? I'd bring back characters that I feel like I could have done more with. A lot of Yag just felt lackluster. I won't say who. Who need to won Inanimate Insanity 2? You mean win. I think Knife should win, because the other three are incredibly boring. But I don't think that he's going to, unfortunately. What brand shampoo do you use? I use what is in my reach when I'm in the shower. What inspired you to start an object show? This is actually kind of funny. After seeing BFB come out, I wanted to start my own show, Betabouts. You know how that went. It didn't, you know? But like, after that, what really started me wanting to make an actual object show was Object Filler again. It just felt so, like, such a good show, and I wanted that, you know? But, yeah, that's basically it. What character did you enjoy making the most? I'd assume this means writing-wise, and I can't really say I have a favorite. I like having all the characters together, and, like, I think Dicey's really funny in episode 13. But I think that he'd only really be funny with the characters that he's put around. Who is your favorite OSC? My favorite Object Show community is the Object Show community. Okay. My favorite Object character in general is, like, probably Naily. Naily is my favorite BFB character, which is why I 3D printed her. But I don't really see myself getting too attached to anyone except for the cast of the show. How long does it take to make Yag episodes? Before it took like 2 weeks, because I abused the back tween. I like made the poses in like 3 seconds. But like now it's taking around a year, probably to just scrape up motivation, to get the lines, you know, all that. If Yag went your way, who would be in the final four? Bouncy Ball, Wario Land 4, KSSU, and Dicey. I think that the elimination for Yag was perfect. I know it sounds really weird to say that, but I genuinely can't see the elimination order being any different than how it is. Except for, like, the results for this elimination, which I will not reveal for obvious reasons. You probably know, you can see it on the wiki. I would have probably swapped that around, but it is what it is. If I didn't want it, or if I wasn't okay with this outcome, I mean, I wouldn't have had a viewer voting show. I really like having people vote on my stuff. It's nice to see what people think. How far in meters can you jump? I'd say about like 1, maybe less than 1. If you could go back in time and rewrite Yag from the start, what big changes would you make? Ooh! Okay, there is a lot of things that would need changing. For one, like the audio mixing, it's awful. Make it so that you could actually hear the characters when they say stuff, like how 1970s in like the start of episode 7, he was just barely audible. And he says like, and I expect to remain uneaten this challenge, capiche? But he doesn't, like, say it. I would fix stuff like that. I would ask for retakes of lines, and etc. Another thing is, there's a lot of, like, weird arcs, like how in the beginning of, like, episode 9, I think, Bouncy Ball, like, starts confronting Wario Land 4 for some reason. And, like, that was supposed to be, like, him projecting his, like, weird relationship with Marble onto Wario Land 4, but it just didn't, like, go right. There's also Yag 10, which I repent. Originally, instead of Gunben, which is Pata's character, and will always be Pata's character, not yet another game show character, he was gonna be Tape Measure in the episode. Tape Measure was going to be the third judge, and that probably would have, like, been a better, like, idea, or, like, a better concept, and I think it would have been funny. Well, I guess Tape Measure isn't really a funny character, but I think anything would have been better than attracting a bunch of, like, kids who like loud, funny, random humor onto my channel, which is anything but that. I'd probably not have done the double elimination, but I don't think I would have wanted Marco to go another episode. I think him leaving at the time he did. And I also kind of wish that I, like, set up the thing at the end of episode 2 a bit better, because with, like, the red dot in the sky, I was legitimately in the FLA like, oh yeah, I'll figure this out later, but I mean, I did figure it out. I do know what I want to do. I just wish I had it planned out from the start so it feels a lot more natural. I would have set up Cases U being a little, like, ruder a bit earlier. I think I probably... I think that's about it that I can think of at the moment. Is SDJS ever going to return? No. I would like people to just forget it exists. If you want it to continue, please go away from me. Thank you. Can Dicey do some flamethrowing? If you give him a flamethrower, he probably wouldn't figure out how to work it. Also, do you have a concept for the second season of Yag 2? I don't think I do. Well, I mean, I do have a concept, but I don't think I want to say anything about it. Just in case I just, at the last moment, don't want to do it. Nothing I say is final. Or, well, you know what I mean. My questions are in the LGBTQ community? I assume this is asking if I am, in which, yes. 2, how do you know Golden Sponge? Some little infant kid that, like, parents need to, like, moderate started spamming on my channels, and that little infant kid was also spamming on Golden Sponge's channel, so I reached out to him. I heard of him before, and I thought it would be nice to just converse with him for a little bit. If you know who the little infant kid is, you know who the little infant kid is. Who do you want to win BFB, II2, and EEE? I already answered the BFB and II ones, but I don't really watch EEE. I don't think it's just the content for me. I could look up the finalists just in case, because I do remember seeing, like, an episode of it. Looking at it, Chalky looks boring and Nail looks weird, but I like how Nail also looks, so I guess that's 2 nails and a knife that I want to win. What is your favorite game? I don't know. It changes a lot. I will say Terraria for now, but that's the game that I just like playing a lot now. It will not be the same for a while. You get to remake old YAG episodes. What do you change? Not back tween abuse. Back tweens are tweens too. They don't deserve to be freaking spammed through the entirety of like 8 episodes. Plot-wise, obviously animation and voice acting will get improved. Oh, well, I guess I already answered this. How do you decide the characters for YAG, and would you change any of them now? I don't think I would. I think that the cast of YAG is simple and it works. The characters have come from things that are in my room. Monitor is the monitor that I have in front of me. 1970s Globey is a globe that I got from like a flea market or something. Like the main 12 and heck even Dicey are characters that I have even in my room. And including the clones in YAG 12, they're also based on the Gauntlet is a rubber infinity gauntlet. She's not a real one. How did you think of the name YAG? I just thought of it on the spot. I just thought like it has a unique acronym. No one has thought about it before. And of course now people are trying to do almost the same thing with my name, which I don't really agree with. But if I do make another season, I'd try to make it have a different name where you can't just copy off of it. What is your favorite color combination? I would say this one. I think it looks very nice. It looks like a sunset. Sunset gradients are my favorite. Out of all the characters up for debut in episode 9, which 5 do you want to develop more? And at the time, who did you want to debut in the episode? At the time, I would have been okay with any of them getting into the show, which is why I had them all up for debut. Of course, now I don't like Yes, but that's really about it. But the 5 I would like to develop a little more are 5 of the recommended characters that you will see in episode 13. Episode 13 will feature lines from most recommended characters that didn't get to join. You'll see what I do with that, you know? If there were a season 2, will Magnet appear? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say that Muggy would appear, or 3-Ball, or Game Boy, or Pluggy, or Cartridge, or Forky, or Zippy, or any of the characters that you've seen before. I don't think they'll come back. If they do come back, they'll be for the things that they were for. If you could choose one of the eliminated contestants of YAG to rejoin, who would you pick? I would say D100. Well, she isn't my favorite. I think she would fit in nicely with the finalist cast. How would Dicey and D100 interact? I don't know. D100 would probably try and keep Dicey safe. I had a little funny idea that D100 would call Dicey a D6 because Dicey is a D6 technically, but I don't know when that would come up or like why that would come up. Also, what are the inspirations behind the original 13 casts, contestants in a cube? I already said where the contestants came from, but like a cube was my like attempt at like when you're making an object show, you're gonna want to have the host stand out. So I thought it would be like funny to have the host be like the most generic thing I could think of, and at the time I thought it would be like a white cube. And so a cube is a white cube. I know you didn't ask about Screeny, but my like goal with her was to have like the little voting screen that you that like displays the votes slowly gains sentience over time. Of course, this is retcon to her being just sentient all the time. Screeny is the AI of a cube ship, and if you were to see Screeny outside of the ship, she'd be hanging down from it. What are your least favorite object show cliches and why? The fat character, the mean character, the nice character, the Rocky character that is Rocky and nothing else. The residents sound like this and you can't understand what they're saying! I genuinely don't like any of those. What is your favorite thing to do when working on YAG? I like to animate a lot. It's fun. Was there any other attempts at making an object show other than YAG? Yes. Yes, there were many. At first, when I was like 6 or something, 6 or 7, I tried to make something called Epic Battle. It was,
Hey, Epicbattler3, that sounds kind of familiar.
yeah, you'd be right. Here's what the cast is. I redrew it a bit later to, like, make them a little different. These characters don't have anything to do with Yag. After that, I tried to, like, redo Epic Battle, like, twice. And then there was, like, Battle to get to the top. Most of these were on, like, Scratch or something. And, then I decided to, like, stop for a bit. So, I, like, came together with my friends, and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if we made an object show? And after a little while, it gained some traction, and BetaBots was made. Or, well, it was starting to be made. There was a lot of thought put into that, and I respect everyone who tried to make it what it was, but we didn't have the voicing cast at the time, and I think a lot of the ideas were a bit out of date, which is kind of disappointing, but yeah, I don't think there's any chance that BetaBots will come back, but for now, I think that Yag is the thing I'm most proud of. What's Cassette Tape's favorite movie and least favorite movie? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why you would ask this, and I don't know what I don't know what I'm supposed to respond with or what you would do with this information. Maybe you could have asked, like, why is Cassette Tape wanting to get onto the show or something, but you want to know his favorite movie. It's whatever you want it to be, I guess. Which contestant in Yag do you regret making the most? Yes. He's just a random funny haha. Look, it's just David too. I'm so glad that he didn't debut. Were there any scrapped Yag characters? If so, who were they? There was one character that was scrapped for Yag. His name wasn't really decided because he was just a thought. But his name now is EduGloby, short for Educational Globy. He was going to be 1970s rival, like how Coiny and Fiery were rivals. But I scrapped it because I just didn't want to draw another globe. Based on, like, the ordering of the characters, Marble would not have been in Yag if, EduGloby was made. Or maybe Cheese Stick wasn't. I think one of the, like, Bouncy Ball, Cheese Stick, and Marble were the last characters to made, and you can probably tell that by, like, how simple they look. I'll show, like, me posting them in a Discord server here. This is the order they were made. But is the Cube's voice your normal voice, or is it acting?
Yes, it's actually just acting.
I can just switch it, you know. Epicbattler. I thought this was funny. What's your favorite Roblox game, and who's your favorite Yag character? I did a little sorty thing that we'll show later for a question. But apparently Cuckoo Clock. I think he is a cool concept, and I like him. I don't really have a problem with sharing my opinions on Yag characters anymore because now I have more writers, and I'm letting the writers do a bit more. And for my favorite Roblox game, I'd say probably Objects Global. Probably because they made the ship so good. I look at it and I'm like, oh my god. I have asked to be on the development team and they accepted, and I was just kind of happy to help because they made the ship from Yag 12. That's like really cool. I'll probably be like posting a link in the description. And I can also genuinely appreciate the people working on the Yag Roblox game, like specifically for Yag. Though a bit lower quality, I can tell a lot of passion was put into making it. Which object shows were your favorite in 2020? I don't really like a lot of the recent object shows, but I heard Orb was good. I haven't really took the time to watch it, but it looks good. What is your favorite object show asset ever? Probably like one that this is really hard for me. My favorite asset style was and always will be Michael's. If you take a look at like Remote or Grandfather Clock, they look bad, but like they look bad in such a good way that it's just so good. They've got like a weird stylization look to them. They're just so good to me. What are some games you like? I like open world survival games like Terraria and Minecraft. I like platformer games like Kirby and The Amazing Mirror and Kirby Superstar Ultra. I like Metroidvania-like games like Super Metroid and Kirby and The Amazing Mirror again. Wario Land 4 is a really good game. I really like Drawn to Life. And yeah, some of these games are in yet another game show, of course. Like Super Mario World, I really like Super Mario World. It's just got such a good charm to it, and by extension, I like Super Mario Bros. X because it's just Super Mario World, but like more and like made by people who aren't Nintendo. Have you ever watched a show called Generic Object Battle? No, I don't really watch a lot of the modern object shows, but I should because I do know the creator. Whose voice do you have the most fun with? I don't think I really have a lot of fun doing voice acting. I do get sort of passionate about it, and I do think I'm pretty good. There's a character in YAG 13 that has a pretty good voice, but I can't say who it is. The one that I do not have like much fun voicing is Pizza, and I want to get a new voice actor for her as soon as I possibly can. What part of YAG are you the most proud of, and what part of YAG do you... I guess the characters, because over time there isn't really a character that I've just not liked. At first I just didn't like Luigi Glove, and I just didn't like Dicey, but like looking at them a bit more just reveals more that I like about them. And the part of YAG that I regret the most is putting Gunbun in episode 10. What are some of your favorite and least favorite things about YAG? Yeah, you just heard that. What is your favorite object show that you've watched, besides II and BFDI? This is kind of tough, because I don't really watch anything else. Everything else just feels weird. You may expect me to say like Moss or AIB, but I just can't get into watching those shows. No other show has really made me tune in to watch another episode, I guess. And I do feel kind of bad for that happening to the... Oh, I completely forgot OFA. Yeah, OFA definitely. OFA just has this very lax, chill vibe. It just feels really realistic. But other than that, I don't have any answers because of the reasons I stated. If you, by chance, never knew about the OSC, but you still wanted to make some sort of series, what would it be? Well, besides VG Battle. For those who don't know, VG Battle is like a webcomic that I want to make, but I don't really know how to do it, so, I don't know what I would try to make. Well, I do know what I would try to make, but I'm trying to keep that project completely away from public eye, just in case I don't know how to do it, but it's a game. What is your favorite BFB character, Haley? Unless you mean in like post-split BFB, then weirdly enough, I'd say like Profiley. They're a nice character. They're just kind of funny. I know a lot of my closer friends don't like Profiley, which is completely understandable. They're like annoying, but I like them because they're annoying. Q&A. Who is your favorite character on your own show? I said Cuckoo Clock, yeah. I'm gonna ask something that isn't about YAG. What is your favorite color? Cyan. I'm very passionate about cyan. You may see cyan and you're like, oh, that's blue. But cyan and blue are completely different. They are completely different. It's like saying red and yellow. Like, I'm gonna put like the comparisons up. They're like the same, like, comparison-wise. Like, red and blue look similar and yellow and cyan look similar. Because one of them is just the base color, and then one of them is like the base color plus green, and like saying that either one of them is the one, then you're saying that the other one is too. And I hope this opens eyes a little bit. What's your opinion on the OSC community as a whole? You said OSC community like how some people say ATM machine. The C stands for community. But it's not. It's an inspiring community. People making their own content. You really don't see that anywhere else, except for like Five Nights at Freddy's. But in like that case, you can't really say the same thing because they all just feel like more of the same. Whereas Object shows, people are making their like a completely different cast of characters and have even tried to go beyond that. And that's really good. But one thing I don't like is just the sheer abundance of children. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're a child watching this, there's nothing wrong with you, most likely. But I just don't like interacting with children. I'm sure you'll understand, you know. If there's one character from BFB Plus that you would want in YAG, who would it be? For those who don't know, BFB Plus is a little drawing that I did of like the BFB characters, but like with a ton of the BFB RCs, because I thought it was a cool concept. You may notice that the scissors looks like the scissors from the debut, and I'd like to think that it was sort of based on mine, but that's just me having a big ego. But a character that I think would be cool would be like Serial, because they were like sort of like a ninja type, or like Shrink Ray, who I think could make some like funny shenanigans, or like Diving Board, who I like the design of. But I think that they don't really work that well as separate from the BFDI characters, if that makes sense. Like, they wouldn't work with mine. What is a cube actually made of, and how are you doing? A cube is made out of atoms. I don't really have a material for him. He's definitely made of something not really sturdy. And how are you doing? I'm doing okay. Not good, not really bad, just I'm reading off comments. I guess that's making me feel good. I heard you ranked all the YAG characters in a tier list. Here. I don't have them tiered because you may notice some characters are low, some characters are high. But if I made it, a lot of characters would be in A tier, with like the exception of Yes being in like D tier, maybe C tier. I don't know, but like I like all of the YAG characters almost equally, and it's really hard to pick a favorite. I genuinely didn't expect Cuckoo Clock to be so high, honestly. I have a little YAG character sorter that I like made myself, or like used a template, but it was still very hard to do. I'll link it in the description. Thoughts on 3D All-Stars or Undertale? 3D All-Stars is just like 3 Mario games, and hey, I like Mario. And Undertale is, well, it was a big part of my childhood, but I don't really like it now. I'm not really a fan of RPGs with like grinding. What episode do you think BFDI died? I would say BFB 17. But I can't really say that for sure, because a lot of the recent BFB episodes, they're just a lot better, they're a lot higher quality. I can't say for certain that the show died at any point, because then this would be zombification. And zombification is illegal under the Court of Objects, most likely. Actually, where the eliminated contestants go. I'd assume this is wondering where they're going, and they're in the sewers. Fun fact, they were originally just gonna be in like a giant reservoir of like water, and it was like dark, but I like changed it to the sewers last second because I thought it would be more interesting than them just being on like a pool of water. That's why there's like weird like water sounds in like that episode. I was planning for them to just be in like this echoey chamber of water. Will there be yet another game show season 2? I can't say. I'm planning for it, but I can't say. And if it doesn't end up having a season 2, then it just won't. And that's it. How old are you? 16. Where do you live? United States. How many languages do you speak? 1. And who's your favorite character from YAG? Already answered. Which one of your contestants' assets was the most fun making and why? I would say maybe Monitor, because she's so like complicated, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have fun making assets. Well, I guess I do, but making assets is just a samey experience for me. It's fun, and I like showing it, and I like drawing a lot. Who is Joe? Mama. Which new object show do you like the most, or think has the most potential? I think Orb has the most potential, but I can see it taking a while to come out or something. Again, I haven't seen it. If YAG was a contestant vote show, who would win? I feel like I would like to expand upon that on another video or something. I don't want to make this a bit like too long, even though it's already like 30 minutes or so. Why is YAG 13? The reason why it's ending at 13 episodes is because I wanted it to go a bit faster when the double elimination happened, because I wasn't really having that much fun making the show. But I decided that it was a bad idea, and to make up for it, YAG 12 and YAG 13 are going to be really good. If you have one, what is your core principle for making object shows? Don't copy off other people. It's okay to have like a character, to have like similar things, and it's okay to like have a pencil character in your object show. Like that's fine. But like, if what you're making is completely, entirely what someone else is doing, and you should like take a step back. And another one is, if you have too many object characters, if you have too many objects, your show's gonna end up being long. One thing I like to think of is for each useless joke character that you add, that's another episode that you're gonna have to make. Another almost 15-minute episode that you're gonna have to write, script, and voice act as a inanimate cheese. I don't know. I think it's a bad idea to not know what you're doing with the cast. Was YAG going to have a different name? Because in the description of YAG 1 you say that the name probably won't stay the same. And if so, what was it gonna be? I don't know. I was told that the name was a bad name, and I wanted to like think of a better name for it, but I never did, and yet another game show just kind of stuck because it has this like zing to it. And 2, did you expect Dicey to win the debut before the voting has started? No. Dicey was not the character that I thought. While I was still deciding the debut cast in like episode 6, I thought Wrench was going to be the character because she had like a cool design. And during like episode 7, I made this like prediction that I don't have anymore because my files got wiped. And I thought that Waluigi Glove was going to debut. But also after that, I thought Luigi Glove would have debuted. And I don't think that would happen. After you finish YAG, what do you plan to do after? Season 2, a new animation project, take a break, and maybe something else. I take a break almost constantly. You may think that we're all working hard, but YAG is actually kind of slow production-wise. I'm doing a lot of waiting and drawing while I'm waiting for lines to be turned in. And same with like animators, though I do animate for a lot. I can tell that like animation for this is going to be a while, but Season 2, I'm planning on it. A new project, I'm also planning on it, and I am also planning on making a little comic VG battle. Out of the characters in the YAG debut, who did you hope would debut? I was sort of wanting... I don't know. I think I wanted cassette tape the most at the time, because I thought it would be funny to have him like try and like fight with a cube to be the host. Like if a cube would say like,
Your next challenge is to, eat the most chocolate sandwiches.
and like cassette tape would be like, ooh, that's a stupid challenge. How about we go with cassette tape's idea of going across the river? Whoa. And I think that would have probably been funny, but it would probably have gotten annoying after an episode, and cassette tape would have gotten the David treatment. What do you propose we should use to animate? I would recommend Adobe Animate 2020. And what should we do when starting an object show thingy, like making characters, a set, etc.? I would probably recommend putting thought into like your characters. If you're adding a PNG character or like a meme character, that's not gonna go very well for you. Because like in a year or something, you're gonna look back and go like, oh, is that really a contestant that I have to continue writing for? And for like the cast, I would say start small and then go bigger if your small attempt leaves you unsatisfied. I wouldn't say just BS characters into your show or anything, but yeah. Do you actually enjoy making YAG? I do. It's very fun. Have any pets? If not, what's your favorite animal? I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. I am more of a cat person myself, but my favorite animal is a snake. I like snakes. What's your favorite aspect about YAG so far? The fact that it's mine, really. The fact that I can do whatever I want with it. And, like, if I don't like something about the object show community, I can fix that with mine. If other people like it, that's another story. But this is my project. Would you get into a fully consensual, non-platonic, mature relationship with the Tower of Elongated Runs? No. No, I would not. Would you? Which YAG character did you voice the hardest? I would say Gauntly is the hardest to voice. You would imagine, like, Wario Land 4, but I could just switch to him on a dime! But for Gauntly, I'd have to, like, take a couple shots. Yeah, she's, like, up there, like, I'm Gauntly! And I have the most annoying voice! I don't know what she sounds like, actually. Who recommended Ultimate Smash Ball? His name is just Smash Ball. And someone along the name of Bobath, Angel of Death, recommended him. How did you feel when you watched your first object show? I think this is kind of funny because it's like I saw it in my recommended videos, and it was like the KD guy, like the pistachio guy's video, or like no, it wasn't him. It was Carrie. It was Carrie's video, and it was like over 9,000 slaps, and it was just a video of like Fiery and Coiny slapping each other, and it gets like a lot faster. And I thought that it was going to be like an Adult Swim show, and I wasn't supposed to watch it, but I was feeling rather rebellious on that day, and I'm glad that I was. How are you with gender dysphoria? Congrats on coming out as trans. I will always support it. Thank you. Still kind of weird, I guess. I don't know. A little uneasy, but thank you. I don't know. What was the first object show that got you making one of your own? Again, Object Filler again. I would like to give it special props for being one of the most lax and believable shows. Who is your favorite BFDI, BFDIA, and BFB character? During the times of those shows, for BFDI, I liked Woody the most, though I wasn't around to watch it. I did come in to BFDIA around the time episode 5 was coming out, and my favorite was Tennis Ball, I believe? And BFB is Nelly, obviously. But at the time of it airing, it was Bracelety. Who did you think would win YAG? Did you have a prediction when you started? I thought that Marker and Bouncy Ball would be the final 2 of YAG. And I thought that Bouncy Ball was gonna win. But that was when I thought that, the finale was gonna be a vote between 2 characters. And I now realize that that's kind of strange. So the final challenge of YAG 13 will be like an actual challenge. But I did think that Marker and Bouncy Ball would have been in the final 2, which I think is kind of weird now. Do you like the episodes of YAG? No, I do not. Like, I think it's genuinely strange how people like the first 10 episodes of YAG, because they're just not good. The first one was just like down, like breathing on the neck of BFB, and then episode 2 and 3 were just boring. Episode 4 had nothing to it. Episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 were just so weird and forced. And episode 9, there's like this one scene that like 1970s was supposed to be holding like a steering wheel, just like he was like helping with the boat, but he wasn't, and I think that might have gotten him eliminated. But I think that it's just so weird that people like those episodes. And like episode 10, everyone was just depressed. I don't like using that word, but just watch the episodes again. They're not great. If Season 2 had one of the debuters from Season 1 compete, who would you choose? I would probably choose one that I think would work very well in a challenge situation. I need to know, do you like Mudkip? I do like Mudkip. I think Mudkip has a very cute design. What's your favorite game? Any underrated video game that you would suggest playing? I've answered the first one, but I would suggest playing Reventure because it is genuinely one of the most funny games that I've ever played. Did your family know that you're making a show, and what did they say to you? I am very nervous to tell my parents anything ever. If you were to add more RCs to YAG as side characters like Cassette Tape, Whoopee Cushion, and Bandana, who would it be? I would argue that all of them are side characters, we just haven't seen any yet. Of course, this will change in YAG 13, where the characters are a little more prominent. And I like that about YAG. Like, they're just there. They're not like flung into a box or you'll never see them again. You get to see more of them. Yeah. Do you still have your Discord server? Yes. I'm sorry, I need to like update like all the links to the invites. That's gonna take so long for me though. Can KSSU be played like in a DS? If you had a big enough DS. Why does Waterballoon wear those boots that are too big for her? Waterballoon is a she. Cause she thinks that they're nice. Like, I don't know, why do you wear shoes, loser? And that will be all for Q&A. It's like 43 minutes. It's... I don't know, this was fun. Maybe I'll do another one soon. But, for now, thank you all for listening to my voice and to me stuttering for like 43 minutes. As a thank you for making it this far into the video, which is very far into the video, I will be saying I'm genuinely very excited to show you all YAG 13. And while I don't have any clips to show you, I will say that it is my favorite episode by far. And I look forward to posting it on YouTube. Normally, I think that, like... well, maybe I shouldn't post this. It's kind of, like... I'm very nervous with these kinds of things. But I know for a fact that this will be good, and this will be going on YouTube. I might do a premiere, but I might not due to certain little infant childs maybe, like, ruining that experience for other people. And I don't care either way. I think lives are... not what I want to do, because I think lives are just kind of like okay, but like if you like join in like the middle of it, you're missing like the entire episode, then you're just behind everyone. It's just sort of like weird. But if you, but I think it might be fun to like set it as a live, but again, might not. I don't know. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good break, or like I don't know, you're all probably on like winter break. I hope to see you all in 2021 if the world doesn't hopefully explode by then. Or hopefully the world does not explode by then, I mean. Yeah.